And we are live. Let me make sure I updated my stream info. Okay, I did. Alright, let's see. Where did I last leave off? That's right. Made a trip through the wilds with a backpack full of stuff that was obnoxiously filling up and unable to be sold. And we reached this town with terrible sale price because of the conditions here. So one of the things that I was commenting on yesterday is there's a few different ways I want to spend the money that we've got so far. One is just a cart. Cart upgrade is very necessary here at this point, as is getting a couple new bros, and in particular a forge tank. And I think we've got enough money that I would like to splurge on something expensive. So despite the almost memified levels of joy and villainy that they're subjected to, I think a hedge knight is basically always going to make a pretty good forge tank. I also can speculate on probably thieves, farmhands. There's a few other lowborns that we could try to sort of cycle through. Basically anything with additional fatigue, so like millers, wildmen, but you know, the risk is going to be high that we just don't find something worthwhile. Bijante has spawned. That was fast. That's what she said. So I think the current plan is just go somewhere with good sale prices. I'm not sure if Adlerberg is going to be quite good enough. It might be. Also want to buy more dogs and warhounds to replace those which have been lost. So maybe the plan is go to Adlerberg, buy some hounds, go to Ivanstadt just to sell, and then head back up north and just sort of sweep the top area of the map, kind of make a return. I think that sounds like a pretty good big picture plan. And I think I'm going to save my money at the moment. Yeah, see, and I don't love cleaver bros. I won't say anti-cleaver, certainly not that, but for me to build a cleaver bro typically involves finding a named item, which with the Icy Cave is a guarantee, right? So there's a decent chance that one of the, you know, maybe like this bro, someone with some good melee attack and good fatigue, or, you know, who knows, someone else can possibly become a cleaver bro. Maybe it'd have to be a new recruit though. This guy could. Iron Lungs is pretty good for cleaver, but I'm going to just head to Adlerberg here, I think. Yeah, I think the thing is Catals are better, like with an asterisk. They're better against some things. I would say they're definitely better as far as what they can accomplish with good setup. So I think that's pretty I don't know, indisputable might be a bit strong language, but look at that. I love a 6 hex blast. of a handgun. It's very satisfying to me. Anyway, how is good Sir Bijante this evening? Sir or ma'am, I guess. I shouldn't just assume. Yeah, well, they're bad at, I mean, there's this one big undead fight called the Black Monolith that I do enjoy doing. And I think that's the thing, is like the downside there though is they work great except when you have 12 bro origins, like where you're limited, like, you know, Lone Wolf or Gladiators, then it can genuinely sting to be limited in that way. But no, Catal's... The other thing about Catal's is they do require, like, coordination with your team. And so there's a certain amount of, like, does the map have nets? That's a big consideration. Oh, no, you're good. My day was pretty good. It's Friday. It's the weekend. So I've got a lot of, you know, stuff to do this weekend, but there's certainly time to fit in some Battle Brothers. Let's see, and I've got Adventurous Nobles, which can also potentially be good tanks. Which, you know, I could at least give that guy a tryout. That's not going to be a good tank. That's not what you want to see. So we're just going to leave him alone. Whoa! Wow. Holy buckets. Talk about a Nimbleforge helmet. Woof. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. It's not going to happen. Probably what I am going to buy is just very unexciting. And that's just a little leather neck guard. Never hurts to have a little, just a little bonus defense. Alright, dodge quick hands. This is our good old buddy Grib, who's actually looking pretty good. I suppose since I took Berserk and I think he's got the hit point pool, I can grab a bit of fatigue since he's got fat, even though that, you know, could go away. So I think I'm pretty keen to take either a Mastery or Killing Frenzy or 9 lives or Fort Mind. Yeah, I mean that helmet is like almost absolute max rolls, right? I don't know what the range is, but that's gotta be close to as good as it gets for a step helmet. Yeah, so -8 is the lowest possible fatigue for it, and the highest possible durability is 250. So this is like this is one of the most insane helmets I've ever seen. That is unfortunately out of reach. So yeah, I think I'll give this guy maybe just Killing Frenzy. Zerk Frenzy works pretty well on a dodge quick hands build. Gonna grab a little bit of tools. got plenty of food, and now I'm gonna grab dogs now. Definitely gonna grab these hounds. 100%. Just start distributing them. And I think I'm gonna go with dogs as well, just where they can have the armor instead of the naked hounds. I think that's probably a bit better, even though the hounds are overall a bit better. Alright, fighting greenskins, nah, we don't need to do that. Alright, I'm gonna head to Ivanstadt for a selling place. That'll be fine. Nighttime will pass on the way there, so it should be day by the time we arrive. Got some barbarians passing through. From Weitblick. Oh, down there. Okay, I was like, where's that? Yeah, we'll go ahead and scoop that up. Get some trading goods to sell here from our favorite noble house. It's very brave. Hey, that guy's got some good defensive skills. That guy not so much. Yeah, no, I agree. I like Polearm Mastery on Dodge Quick Hands quite a bit. I think it's good, especially as a kind of tempo play, if you fight like noble armies and you get some early bill hooks, or if you pick on a southern army and get sword lances, either way. But if you get those early, I'll take Polearm Mastery. Being able to move 2 hexes and attack is so good. Attack with reach. And as is the ability to move 1 hex, attack, get a kill, proccing Zerk, and then attacking again. Yeah, he's a good candidate, but I think it starts to lose its utility at least somewhat as the run goes on longer, to where if I was going to do that, I probably would have done that already. I don't know. Maybe it's still fine to do. Alright, so here I'm going to sell basically everything. Oh, I should see the recruit pool. Did I look? I did. Fragile's bad, but Dexterous on a farmhand is kind of interesting. I'm probably not going to bother. So I'm just going to sell basically everything here. There was a mission to go to whatever that town was called, northwest of here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see, any reason to keep the heavy crossbow? I don't think so. I'm not a crossbow lover. I find them to be kind of not very good. So, I'm gonna deliver cargo to Talbach, right? Yeah. And so, is there anything I want to buy here before going? Is Talbach big enough to have food? It is. hunter's cabin, so they might have like venison or some other decent food options. So I could buy like cured rations or something, since again the goal here is to venture through the north and kind of look for Icy Cave, and so I want to have plenty of food to just sweep through there and not worry about stuff like that. So it's kind of expensive, but I'm gonna buy a little bit of the expensive stuff. Yeah, not repairing items is simply, there's kind of two components to it. One is, there's three components to it. One, it's pretty micromanagey, and I already do a lot of sort of, small micromanagey things where, after a certain point, it starts to sort of detract from the gameplay of like, let's just do it. So that's probably a big part of it. The other is that I consider it a sort of unintended consequence of other gameplay decisions that the designers made. And so to me, it just, I wouldn't call it cheese, it's definitely not, but it starts to like approach that territory of like not being in the spirit of the game. And the final one is, that it elongates the period of the game when you're making the most interesting gameplay decisions and your squad is definitely getting more powerful, but the power spike by not repairing items happens a little slower. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference that I find the end result a bit more satisfying. Yeah, but inventory management mods get into the territory of just being, again, kind of a cheese, not in the spirit of the game. But for what it's worth, anyone who is watching this, or ever watches this recording or whatever, that is using an inventory management mod and you enjoy it, you should keep doing it, and that's fine. But yeah, I just like to have a fairly vanilla experience. That's just my preference. Obviously, I have a few mods installed that do a lot of quality of life stuff, so. All right, I'm gonna buy just a bunch of excess food. And head out. And unfortunately, I'm kind of hanging on to these attachments. I don't want to put them on anything that I've got. I could maybe consider putting I'm gonna sell that. Putting the bone plating on a nimble piece of gear, like a padded leather. Put the bone plating on, goes to -10 fatigue, put a -5 helmet on. Which I think is totally valid and reasonable, but I'm gonna hang on to it. I don't think I need to use it. So, alright, if I'm looking for Icy Cave, I suppose the first path I'm gonna cut is to the north and west, and we'll see what we see there, and then I'll head back. Obviously, it could just be over here somewhere. Oh, right. That was the 4th caravan just a moment ago. How wonderful. So the team's in real good shape right now. Yeah, I like bone plating well on nimble frontliners too. Nimble frontliners, I think, have more options that are still good in terms of crafted things. So like hyena pelt if you've got dodge, or direwolf pelt if you're making contact. So nimble just has more options, but bone plating is good on nimble too. It's also good. I mean, it's good generically. So. Okay, and here I'm being careful just not to kill too much or do too much damage. And I'm gonna bring the formation way into a tiny little ball. That was kind of close. And we're gonna let them come to us. Since so many of them waited, I'm gonna be waiting too. Yeah, it is annoying. I agree. It is annoying when the effect goes away on chip damage, like when you're, you know, killing goblins and it's just like, you know, a single bola or arrow. But, you know, the nice thing about bone armor plating that is easy to undervalue or not consider is that it saves tools, so there's like a meta benefit to it as well. So outside of combat, that's still really relevant, just to stay out wandering through the world map for longer. Which I think is not to be underestimated, how much benefit that has. And also, like, if you're doing the arena and there's the event where there's an arena contest? I don't know what the word they use is. But the bone armor plating still works between rounds there, which is so good. As in, it like refreshes between each combat, whereas all your other supplies don't. So that's a crazy huge benefit. All right. 2 Noxerer necklaces worth of crafting material. God, that's... I hope Icy Cave isn't like up there somewhere. In any event. Just gonna skirt on to the west. And there are a few camps that... Oh, there it is. Alright, let's see. You know, I was talking about finding the Icy Cave, but I didn't talk about if I wanted to do it, and if so, with who. Who is the strongest frontliner? So one strategy that is valid for fighting the barbarian madman is to go out with a fighting spear and then just be ready to swap to a bigger weapon. Don't need quick hands because it doesn't matter. I like it better if you've got 85 melee attack, because the barbarian madman has 10 melee defense, so with 85 melee attack, the chance to hit, uses your attack skill plus 20, which goes to 105, minus their melee defense, so down to 95. So you can get max hit chance using a fighting spear. So I tend to like to go at the madman with a forge bro, but I don't think any of them are quite as skilled. This guy's probably the best candidate if I wanted to go that route. Pretty sure. Oh yeah, so here's like a dodge quick hands build with a polearm, by the way. I do have one. I don't know what I'm going to take for my last perk. It might just be Berserk. Oh no, it'll be Pathfinder, actually. Well, anyway, yeah, so I'm trying to think, like, what is the... No, I don't think he does, though you can... I don't do it, but there does exist a cheese where by swapping weapons, you can between a reach weapon that hits with 5 AP and a big heavy two-hander, you can cheese them indefinitely, which for the way I play is considered off limits, but you can look it up. There are YouTube videos that exist employing that strategy, but I don't do it. Yeah, I think if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be with this guy. And he's got a real good weapon for it. Would it be worth using a bone plating on a decayed coat of scales just for this fight? I think so, if I'm going to do it. And I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go at this with Torsten. And I think he can kill the barbarian madman. I think his melee skill is a smidge low, to be honest. So I could consider doing something like this, using these nets just for a little safety, just to get the dogs out with one net and then get in melee range. Got the other one just in case. That's probably the way to go. All right, Torsten, Fat and Mace. All right, so he's not presented as an option, which just means I gotta back some people up that are higher level, just to pull them out of the pool. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna put the dog down. Oh, out of fatigue, interesting. And let's see. What's the play? Is it to just swap to the mace now? Probably. Good. I like going at this fight with the mace purely for the daze. The daze is a really big deal. Okay, like that. Bone armor plating. Yeah, that's why I like going at him with a Forge Bro too. You can't even make it through the... Can't make it through his HP. Well, this sucks. I mean, I don't know. Weapon skills building up less fatigue is nice, but then it's basically just a one-handed cleaver as far as costs go. So I probably won't even bother using this. Let me look up the... Yeah, so what is the... Oh, shield damage. Okay, I couldn't even figure out what the other thing I rolled was. Shield damage. Okay. I don't have the shield damage stats memorized because, like, I don't care about them. So that is just gonna go to the dumpster. But this broken ritual armor, we like that very much. Very, very, very much. Because that's going to turn into the Idrok armor, which I always try to get on the Forge tank before heading into Black Monolith. So now I guess I don't have to sweep the north. I can go to these pretty nice camps that I passed through earlier, especially this one here, the Sunken Castle or whatever, far from civilization. But we'll take a peek at this chosen camp, or what is probably going to have chosen in it, and probably fight it. If it's a mix of yeah, usual location order is going to be Icy Cave into Idrok into sometimes just Black Monolith from there. And to be clear, I do these if I can find them. Sometimes Icy Cave will spawn within a forest tile and I just don't find it. And I don't want to waste all the time sweeping, so that's like one of the, you know, things that can add a complication to the Winstreak sort of routes. But I would say that's probably the most typical, is going to be just Icy Cave, Idrok, Black Monolith. I will sometimes do Goblin City, and I will sometimes do the library. Wow, this is like a really wimpy... Some thralls, many reavers, a few drummers. I was kind of hoping, you know, a lot of fierce northern warriors would be barbarian chosen for an interesting fight. This is just going to be a slaughter. I need to press the B button to bring up the blockable terrain. Okay. So here I've got a blast of 5. I like that. And I could just be cheeky here, and if I kill that guy in Spear Wall, might prevent some damage. Some pretty big weapons on those Reavers. Why does this guy have a jag? Oh, I remember why he has a jagged pike. I was just stuffing things into people's bags to manage their inventories. Whoops. Gotta get rid of that. Okay. So it's a little thing, but I've made it so these reavers are gonna have to go through a spear wall. Just saving some tools on the way out to bigger and bolder adventures. So now it's a little bit like fighting Ancient Dead in a way, where they they just wasted a turn doing nothing. I would say that is a spearman's job well done. That's a really funny adrenaline. I'm gonna finish off these last two reavers. I'll let the drummers go. That was very clean. I don't know how much damage I actually took. Could look at the end game battle screen. 68 plus 28. Okay, so 96. That's pretty good. And a bundle of heavy javelins. So that's nice. God, this stupid inventory is gonna fill up right away. Let's see. We'll replace those jabs with these jabs. Actually, probably what I'm gonna do is give this guy the heavy throwing axes. Okay. So, what are the final perks for the Bannerman? So he's got 2 left. Probably just Fearsome and Pathfinder. I can't imagine it being anything except those 2. Low roll on the 2 stats I care about most, which is too bad. I kind of like this guy having high initiative though. Yeah, dude, Fearsome on Gunners is sick. It's so good. If I get down to the south, I might just buy another gun, make him a double gunner. The double gunner banner. Should be illegal. But hey, the early uses of firearms on the battlefield were largely just scare tactics. Discover 8 locations? Wow, that's pretty easy. Though honestly, destroying 4 undead locations is almost just as easy, and then gets the undead trophy, which is a really nice piece of equipment, so actually I might just do that. I think that'll be better. Alright, so some Necro Savants does mean I should fight this next one with a bit of care. But, so I'm going to bring out a net, and actually, you know, I might put the net here. And I think I'll leave this Spear Bro at home. He's not going to be quite as useful in this fight. Still useful for the Necro Savants, but I think everyone else is just going to be slightly more generically useful. So okay, so the old shoot and scoot backup 2 has the downside of not being able to back up 2. However, one really nice thing about this terrain is if everyone scoots up into the left one, there's no real surround to even be had. Except for the edges, like this guy, who if he's surrounded is probably going to be just fine. At least to a point. So I'm going to start out backing up the back line so that we can back up 1 hex, which is also totally just fine. Let's see, who would I rather have on the end? Jost or Galib? Suppose it doesn't matter too much. I'll have it be Jost on the edge. We'll pull out the big scary axe to intimidate them. Okay. So I think this is a pretty good spot for whatever the Necro Savants might want to do. So even though I'm going to wait on most bros, the ones that wouldn't even be able to get back to hit the Necro Savants wherever they are, the ones in the center, I'm going to let them go. But all these other ones... I'm going to just do the old wait command and see where the Necro Savants pop out. Alright, not too bad. Go ahead and just yoink. Put that there. Probably just focus down this Necro Savant here. Okay. One down. I do think it's a nice touch that they made it so Necro Savants bleed. Oof. Okay. We'll need to get in there and backup Joss there. Getting hit twice was not good. Is there even a good way to be able to bail him out? Can make juicier targets, potentially, but the battle lines are pretty locked in. This guy just really doesn't have a good target. I'm gonna wait and see if there's a better... Okay. Okay, that was very important. Very glad that happened. Let's see, 66% chance to hit. Probably the best thing for this guy's survivability is just to put a dog down so that there's not a single hex where the necrosavants can go. Oh, 11% chance to hit and a hit. Hopefully we won't lose that dog, but it could happen. Alright, stagger. So, give some time to get in on that guy. Oops. Actually, that was a misclick. That was fine. Oh, I suppose the stagger is only going to let the war dogs go before him. It's too fast. All right. Pretty clean. There was some damage taken there, so not, you know, not super clean, but enough for me to cycle a bro out, which is why I've got reserves, even though it's just 1.5 reserves. This guy's gonna get cycled out at some point, but oh yeah, they really, necrosavants are absolutely, they like refuse to let themselves get surrounded to the extreme. It's quite funny actually. What is this bro gonna be? I keep putting it off. Had that cleaver been good, he'd be a good candidate for a cleaver build. But as is not. He's so good. Still gonna get a whole bunch of melee defense. So this is one of those unicorns that could be a fatigue neutral without weapon mastery. Yeah, exactly. Newt with no mastery. Yep. I think that's likely what it'll end up being, but I kind of... Yeah. Well, I'll take Fearsome. It's still generic. He could still be anything. This +1 there is too bad. But that's fine. Just grab Fearsome there. Could have considered just grabbing a Underdog or possibly even just Forge, but alright, the team continues on. See, and there's a Orc Cave that might be a decent place to pick a fight. Assuming we don't see anything interesting here. Goblin Wolf Riders. Not gonna go out of my way to chase them. I'd rather go out of my way to fight this camp. Some Orc Berserkers. Okay. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Get back there. Not too dissimilar from so many of the other orc fights. Just gonna make a spear wall that as soon as they break through, I just murder them. You mean like the charging stun? I don't know. I don't know exactly what their rationale for not always doing it is. I really don't. It's sort of strange, isn't it? That sometimes they do the charge to stun and other times they don't. I mean, I know they won't do it if they're like stepping over something. So that's, I don't think that's like a legal move. So that's at least sometimes why. So like these ones can't do it. But this guy could. I think. So I don't know. Nice, clean fight. As expected, since Orc Berserkers are not that scary of a unit. They're just not. Alright, this hybrid, this sort of gunner hybrid, whatever. I think the last two perks here are just going to be Duelist and Pathfinder. And we're eventually going to get them handguns. Because handguns are good. Here's the late dodge quick hands. I've labeled this. Though I think I was thinking, hey, could this be a nimble duelist? Which would be pretty neat because the missing eye can make... Oh, I suppose, never mind. He's got Night Owl. I was going to say Night Owl. So missing eye can be... where the -2 plus the nighttime penalty plus a -3 helmet can result in being unable to do a reach weapon attack at night, which is just really annoying to deal with. Actually, no, I think it's still true. Because this is -2 vision, so Night Owl won't make up for it, so he'll have -1, -3. Yeah. Yeah. Never mind. He still can't hit with a reach weapon at night if he's got a -3 helmet on. So it makes me kind of like hand wavy, just say I'd like to maybe have him be a duelist of some form. I just don't like to do that without having a weapon beforehand. I mean, I could make him nimble. I don't have an armor set. Really? Either way, this feels really weird. Yeah, his melee defense is really good. He's just a really good bro. I mean, his melee defense is like not quite fatigue neutral level. I mean, even then, it would be fine. Let's go Berserk at the moment. Keep him generic. I'm kind of just doing... Hey, Goblin City. Cool. So I'm gonna hop here, say, what's the plan? I usually do... We'll take on their forward posts. By the time I want to do it, I will have definitely killed 5 goblin locations. For sure. And unfortunately, the inventory is filling right up. Shrats. Shrats can be nice to fight, just for the shield you craft from them is actually kind of decent. As is the ability to make the attachment that lowers the fatigue cost of armor, just for sort of nimble forge or even just certain nimble loadouts. But I'm gonna head straight for this undead castle or whatever. Will I get there before nighttime? I think it still is. And this is like quite a loadout, actually. Oh yeah, let's get rid of that. So, do I still have another net? I think I used them all, yeah. I mean, it'll be fine. I was thinking for that one Necro Savant. Yeah, this is like a really, this is Black Monolith in miniature. Just, you know, a little bit of everything. So, classic Ancient Dead tactics. I'm just gonna back everybody up too. Throw some axes on the way. Or javelins, if they don't have axes. And I sent that guy back just to kind of handle the necro savant that jumps back wherever it goes. Alright, gonna wait with everyone. Cool. Hopefully the miasma isn't too bad. Oh, we did the horror. Ooh. 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 There's like a lot of bad things that kind of happened all at once there. That horror was really bad. Yeah, that was a very spicy priest. I want to go and rally here so that Torsten doesn't go to fleeing from wavering. But the banner just got caught up in the necro savant. So that is absolutely high priority to take care of. That dog very well may die, but I want to reinforce that top side however possible. And I think here he doesn't have a choice but to just... Okay, hopefully this will end up in a kill. Okay, get him, dog. Hey, alright. I mean, we are doing a mini monolith. It is literally like, it's a little bit of everything, isn't it? I don't know if you were here when I actually said that very thing. Borgigan, I said, it's a little mini monolith fight. Gray monolith, yeah. That's, I like that. That's really dumb, but in the perfect way. It's like a little bit of a risky position to put that guy in, but put the hybrid in, but I think he'll be okay. The old gray monolith. It's really nowhere good for the spear guy to go. Goodbye, doggo. You have served your company well. Wow, this priest is very spicy. Gotta get that banner out. It's probably too risky to send this guy forward. Maybe. I don't know, I really want to... No, they were found. They were found, and they are only okay. It's kind of one of those items that probably is like borderline incorrect to use, but I'm doing it anyway because it's shiny. They roll damage, not super high, but you know, it's hard to compete with the heavy version. Dang, those horrors. Oof. Those are rough. Good dog. Yeah, I never thought I'd find myself being like, boy, I wish they would use miasma. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think that mod is an unreasonable one to run. Because it is... Yeah. It's fun to find, like, named gear that, I don't know, does something cool or interesting. And when you find a throwing weapon and you have a thrower and you're still just like, nah, that's not worth using, that's kind of disappointing. So it's not a mod I would run just because, you know, takes away from my vanilla dream, but I think that is actually a pretty cool mod. See, and it's fights like this. I got a lot of crap for... I made a Reddit post a long time ago when I was using Spear Bros and I didn't realize other people weren't. And I was like, hey, Chosen are an overblown threat. I think Ancient Dead are scarier and pose a bigger risk to my squad. And I don't think I got a single agreement. And then it was kind of from there that I realized I must be playing the game a bit differently. Because the team took a ton of damage here. And I don't think there's any risk of me losing anyone. Not at this point. Jerk. But definitely lost a lot of like momentum in this push out into the wilderness. Took the wind out of my sails. Getting punched by a priest. I don't know. Some of us grew up with some youth religious trauma that you know, we can imagine. It's not that hard. I guess there's some risk specifically there of something bad happening. This guy? Yeah, he is gonna go. Yeah. Okay, that was good. Whew, alright. Say, hit like your life depends on it. Ooh, what a beautiful item. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. Glorious toad skin. That is a very, very nice nimble armor. Very, very nice. Alright, gonna get rid of some of this food that's about to go bad. And I'm sure there's some other dumb stuff to get rid of. Exactly. Well, I pressed the checkbox, you know, streamer mode in the game settings, and it just gives you better item drops. Do you guys not play with that on? You gotta go deep in the settings. So I think Glorious Toadskin would have been a great use for the bone plating attachment, but I'm gonna put something else on it, and I suppose I'll just replace one of my 80 80 durability armors with it. That's really nice. I like that a lot. And this guy definitely doesn't need any more fatigue. I'm pretty sure camp famed item drop is completely random. As far as I know. Obviously, other named items that come from champions have to be within their like set of items that it can pull from. I suppose this guy still needs more resolve. That's probably the biggest weakness right now to this guy. So, is it weighted? Well, so it's weighted by base type, right? So helmet. Excuse me, like a helmet, armor, shield, weapon. Can be from the appropriate faction or it can be a generic one. But it can't be from another faction. I swear I've had barbarians drop handguns, though, or I suppose maybe handguns are considered generic. I'm pretty sure I had a handgun drop from a barbarian camp. It was a long time ago, though, so my memory might be incorrect. And I'm trying to decide what to do with this guy. Maces get quite a bit less value from fearsome, relatively speaking. And he really needs resolve. So I think I'm going to grab Fort Mind now. And the last perk point might end up being Backstabber. Maybe. Alright, Spear Bro / Off Tank, who's doing real well. I think just to aid in positioning and helping against goblins and things like that. I think I'm just going to take Pathfinder. And then the last perk will be... who knows? I told a player of games in Discord that I would try my next run to do like a Spear Bro, Hammer, Shield hybrid thing. He has quick hands on it, but I think I could actually do a version where I just took Hammer Mastery here as his last perk. I'm not going to do that, I think, with this bro, but if this were like a 12-man origin, and I needed a bro that was good in all fights and in kind of more situations, I would consider taking Hammer Mastery as his last perk. But I think as is, I don't need to. So I think after taking all that damage, and the team being in a rough way right now, this is as good a time as any to just head back to civilization, sell some stuff, and hopefully just buy the cart upgrade with all of these shiny objects. Those Shrats. Which the team is too hurt at the moment for 5 Shrats. Be on your guard. There are goblins about. Cute little barbarian camps. Boy, how much, Team's healed up enough, I could just do another fight. Yeah, okay. I'm simple. I see barbarians, and they gotta die. They're uncivilized. They smell bad. See, I don't want to take this hex because I'm gonna put the sword lance there and get a nice sweep. Alright. Cool. Gonna get some heavy jabs. And some heavy axes. No. Don't kill the dog. Wow, 2 javelins to the head and he lived. I'm impressed. Alright, got some weapons I might want from this fight. Definitely want the maces and hammers. Okay, that's good enough for me. Because there's a few bros that I want to say, yeah, like this guy's got a mallet. I don't want a mallet. I want a mace. For if this guy's in melee range and needs to give someone a good bonkin'. I don't know what this guy's gonna be, but I gotta get rid of this stupid cleaver. The barb hammer and barb mace are like close enough to indistinguishable. There's not a huge difference between them. They even kind of look similar. Continuing the journey to Ivanstadt. Not even gonna stop on the way. Gonna go right there and sell stuff. And take a look at what all's going on here. Follow the tracks for a lockbox. I mean, I could do it just to build up relations to make this place a little bit better to sell to. I don't know. It can make a little bit of a difference, but it's not that big of a multiplier. Maybe I'm underestimating it, but I don't think I'm gonna bother with that mission. Alright, I'm just gonna sell all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna keep just enough Noxera parts to make two necklaces. I don't care about the shimmering ashes. I don't need to make any happy powder. Though it's kind of fun when playing as cultists. To make happy powder. But yeah, that's true. Most famed armors are like forged armors just by the pool itself. Look at all that money. I can't imagine a world where I don't buy a card upgrade. Yes. Oh yeah, so here's the named throwing axes. They rolled damage and additional chance to hit, which, on the one hand, you know, it's still just less damage than the heavy throwing axe, but they are 11% percentage points more likely to hit, which is pretty good. Reliability in hitting is good. Right, yeah, 6 is low. So, like I said, and it's a pretty low damage roll. So, you know, they got a stiff competition here in 30 to 50. I think they're better for most bros. Just a little bit better. But I don't think it's that big a deal. I like the reliability of just being able to hit. But it doesn't make much difference. Okay, so I wonder... I'm going to make another trip out to the wilds. Deciding if I want to go west again. I could check out what's going on up here. And I only say that because I want tools. And this place has the surface iron vein, so could be a good source. And actually, maybe I should head back to Adlerberg just to get more dogs. I think those should have restocked by now. I think that's the play. Just get more tools, more dogs, make another trip. Just casually traveling with an armored unhold. I'm actually gonna let him go. I don't want to fight the armored unhold in the forest. Partially just because it's annoying, if we're being totally honest. Okay. It's a pretty cheap Houndmaster. I don't know. I want a tank, but it is a nice city. It's got a kennel. It's got cheap tools. It's got a scenic mountainous background. Lot to like here. A Saleh, which, you know, there's enough money floating around on the team that I think that could be a nice pickup. It would go really well with the glorious toad skin, with a what's the bone armor plating or whatever. Yeah, this would be a good one to be the lord of. I could purchase weapon upgrades. Could purchase like a two-handed hammer or mace or flail. Is that a worthwhile upgrade? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm gonna take a journey up north here and here. Just to see what we see. No, I have not. Well, I think I did a little. I think there were a couple farmhands that I tried out and had reasonable traits that I purchased. I think the thing is the company has enough money. I'm just gonna buy a hedge knight and almost no matter what turn it into a forge tank. Unless it really rolls in a different direction. Or I find a different candidate beforehand. Yeah, forge tank is in no melee attack, yeah. I mean, if there's a wild man that, you know... Oh, farmhands have really good fatigue rolls, and so for a good forge tank, you want fatigue. Alright, I'm gonna bust this barb camp, I guess, even though it's... Well, I don't know. I'm gonna head to a more interesting barbarian camp. Get a little further from civilization afterwards, too. Here we go. Here's a more interesting fight. Getting there anyway. Okay, I'm gonna see where these chosen go to kind of outline exactly what I want to do with everyone. Actually, I might just shoot and reload here. That was kind of a bad hit. A lot of throwing weapons up there. These one-time uses could be a bit spicy. This guy does have dodge, and a little bit of range defense. Well, I know I'm going to spear wall somewhere, so I'm just going to do it now. He did not move very far. I'm going to make use of this high accuracy weapon. Shouldn't have said anything. So I could go one up and protect this flank a little better and leave one slot for them to filter in on. Let the dog in at the start of the next round so that there's melee contact, so that the rest of them sort of just charge in a bit more mindlessly. It puts the spear bro in a slightly more precarious position. I think I'll just hold back. Okay. So I've got a handgun shot that's pretty decent looking, just right from here, hitting 3 of them. And then it allows me to reload. I'm wondering if it'll be possible to kill this Reaver and sort of retreat around this guy too. Keep the spear wall dream alive, which I kind of like. Okay, good. These guys are still 2 hexes away, which is nice. So they won't be able to attack next turn, so just gonna chill there and accept life. I'm gonna wait and see if this bro needs to help intervene in this location or can just hang back. Same with that guy. Okay, it may end up being just fine as is. I may as well. There we go. In fact, I might even bring this guy down here just to help out in that location. I could rotate the sort of spear wall thing around counterclockwise. Lets the Warhound in, but I don't care about that. Even if they rotate, they're rotating on that guy, which is fine. I think that gives just a little bit better coverage. And since this is a cleaver here, I'm gonna move up closer with another Forge Bro and not care. Okay. Okay, I can put a dog down here to help out. Alright, they continue their long journey around. Unfortunately, this guy got smoked by those javelins, so just enough hit points was lost, I think, where I'm a little reluctant to do. You know, I could go up 2, shoot, back up 1, pull out the banner. I don't hate it. I can hit the 4 reavers. Well, I can shoot at the 4 reavers and hit jack shit. Oof, okay. Finish off this guy. Don't think I need to go toe-to-toe with this Chosen just yet. I keep pushing him back. Dang. Really didn't want that to miss. Nice, okay. So, didn't get a chance to move, but still, nothing there can attack for a little while. And so I think this group is now vulnerable enough. I think I can just move there, which, so that spear wall kind of ended up doing nothing, but... Okay, so I think Galib has, yeah, 9 lives, so we've still got that. Cool. Next up, the big concern, of course, is here in the back. This might be a big enough hit chance to be worth doing, but I can still wait and let someone else move in. This guy's got really good melee attack. Can probably withstand a Chosen hit just fine because he's nimble, and nimble still works pretty good against the barbed weapons. Okay. And interestingly enough, hey, push that guy off and can still bring the spear into relevancy. Right there. Go ahead and proc 9 lives. Look at him go. Might kill before retreating just for the morale hits. And does the gun need to be reloaded? It does. So... very nice. Got some 9 lives. Love. Oh, I should have shot at that guy. Whoops. Ended up fine, but... not gonna have enough fatigue to swing anything. but I am still going to finish that guy off. Get out of here, drummers. Let's see, do I chase this chosen down? I'll let him go. He could still hurt someone. Alright, that was yet another good illustration of spears, making it so that, you know, there was one guy that got contact with the cleaver on the bottom, where I just didn't have spear coverage. Everywhere else, almost no damage. The only damage that got through, other than that cleaver at the bottom, where I just sort of let there be melee contact without spear protection, was the errant missile fire that hit the banner. And got... okay. I probably won't build a puncture bro at this point in the campaign. But that's I don't know. That's like, what a weird, I don't know. It's a weird item. I guess it's not much of a damage roll. Because what's the base? Just 20 to 40? And so it got ignores armor, which is irrelevant for puncture, but... dual gripped with duelist, stab, 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 is not terrible. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a weapon that, you know, changes anything, but I was asking for a one-handed named item when I asked the Fates, but maybe I should have been more specific. Turns out. And you know, I think one of the Spear Bros has earned it. Khalib's gonna get rotated out. Banner can probably stay out for now. Yeah, this is the... it's like a... what's the monkey's paw? Is that the thing that you wish for and it technically gives you what you asked for, but never really what you wanted? But I suppose monkey's paw is like actually actively bad, and this is not that. Okay, so with this guy, dodge quick hands build. This is such a comically high amount of hit points that I'm tempted to just do it anyway. Just, I don't know, kind of for the memes. Yeah, let's do it. And then, right now he's got a hammer. I don't know that that'll necessarily be what I stick with. I'll just get Killing Frenzy on this guy. We'll see what mastery, weapon mastery we end up taking. So 52 hours of repairing, which largely is going to be this piece of armor, so... oh my god, why can't I click on that guy? Yeah, probably mostly it's in that helmet, so team should be ready before then. It'll be a nice opportunity to just go... how much food? 8 days? Okay. go up into the east. Lots of chosen. That should be just fine. Could cycle in the third spear bro. But since it's just chosen, there's no risk really presented to any backliners that are hurt, since they don't have any way of getting through. Yeah, why don't I... Nah, I don't know. I don't think I need to. And since this is probably just going to be someone that I dismiss at some point anyway, no need to waste the good experience on him. Let's just equip jabs on everyone. It's the right thing to do. They're going to be a lot better than the throwing axes. Alright, I think... Who do I want to put on that end, actually? The thing is like really survivable nimble bros are actually, with the exception of, you know, chosen that are holding a cleaver, you know, they're going to be more survivable against those big chonkin chosen hits. So we'll go ahead and clear more chosen out. I don't think there's any other prep I want to do for that fight. This is a typical pattern that I find myself in at this stage, is just clearing chosen at this point. So I'm going to let them all move. And then the thing I'm kind of looking for as I decide how I want to do my scoot and shoot is just where their weapons are distributed. So for all intents and purposes, I kind of view the heavy rusty axe and the hammer and mace kind of functionally equivalent, whereas the cleaver is obviously a different thing. Yeah, the throwers are going to be big here. So right now, considering they've all basically moved except for this guy, I can kind of start looking at where I want people. I can attack with this guy is kind of what I'm thinking about doing, so that this guy can get in an attack. But I might just move the two spear bros in here and here, covers the middle completely, force them to retreat completely around the outside, and then just sort of catch them around the edges. The other alternative is I can leave a single or even two hexes in the middle, which I sometimes also like to do, to kind of create a channel where something goes there and then just gets wrecked. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just give this guy a big old bonk. Deciding if I want to do demolish armor here. Or keep some of the fatigue for maybe a berserk later. I'll just hit him normal. I'll attack normal. So here, I might push up with these two bros and the spears, create kind of a one hex killing zone between these two. Okay, so that's where that cleaver has gone. So I'm going to back up there. Didn't even kill him with the Mansplitter. So I can attack 4 Chosen here. Unfortunately, without having Pathfinder, can't reload, which sort of sucks. And so, since this guy still has the Goblin Impaler, I could attack one where I push him back, or just miss. Okay, there's a lot of misses that I was hoping not to have happen, so this could be a bit of a scary round. We'll see. Okay, pretty ideal so far, honestly. I think this is just pull out the handgun and blast. So I started blasting. Okay, so Cleaver's on a Nimble Bro. I'm gonna wait here to hit this guy with the camera first. Alright, so this is the current point I'm most worried about. And this guy still doesn't have quick. I really have not built that guy very smart. But I suppose there are a couple throwers here just sort of pointed here, so maybe this will be just fine. Gotta get that guy quick hands or something. I know, right? So this is definitely a hit. Now, this guy is pretty good defensively too, and he's confident. So I might still move him over here just to, I don't want the axes to hit these hybrids. Heavy Rusty War Axe is still pretty good against Nimble Bros because it's good against everything, because that weapon is disgustingly good. You get up here with the mace, give him a bonk, give this guy just a little push, back him up. We don't need oh! What am I doing? I meant to weapon swap there. Whoops! Hopefully it won't matter. That was a misplay. Okay, got a kill there. And we're in pretty good shape, other than what could possibly happen on the bottom side there. Okay. So, get another blast of 3, pull out the banner for the morale bonus. This guy's not having a good showing, despite being a good bro. I should have just... My reluctance to grab quick hands is really biting me here. Or to just give him something better than that stupid sword. Wow. He did the round swing. That was bold. Let's get in, just hurt this guy. Gonna run out of ammo soon. If that might have been that guy's last. Oh, it was, yeah. It's empty. Dang, I was really hoping that would be lethal. Yeah, the adjacent dog baiting him in a round swing. And he even hit the dog. I mean, that's definitely like... We want them to round swing there, right? Spear wall still just doing work there. So I'm going to take a step up here, finish this guy, and just allow these two to get right in these Chosen's face and just sort of man fight them. They should be good to go there. I might help him with the spear bro. Sure. I'll wait here for the surround bonus. Hey, thanks. Yeah, this was good. So now this guy's out of spear walls. So I'm just gonna shield wall for when they push forward. So this guy can do a little swapsy action, but I think that's fine. Yeah, the no quick hands bro definitely... Hey, he hit someone though. Well, they did. I mean, right? Because I've got Chosen up here and I've got Chosen down here. The key is just as soon as you have some amount of melee contact, the enemy AI like flips a switch and just behaves differently. And so you can get Chosen to do what you want. You know, at least to an extent. They're probably the most predictable of enemies, I think. He did. He did kill his ally. Geralt, come on, bud. You can do better than this. Let's see. Probably should have laid that dog down first, just for this round bonus. That's a whoops. I will say there was a certain amount of, like, despite how incredibly clean this was, there was a certain amount of, like, just good luck with not getting hit on some of the places. So, alright, yeah, hey, good night. Have a good one. But yeah, Borge, I think this is one of the fights that I said would happen, and you said you were interested to see. Is it what you expected? This was, like, even honestly atypically smooth. I didn't take a single point of damage, which that's not, like, I would expect to get hit somewhere. That was not totally normal. But still, yeah, it definitely was particularly lucky. But one thing that was on display though was that the spear wall failed, and I think there's a certain mindset of like, oh, the spear wall fails, well, I guess that's it. Spears suck. But the spear wall failing is not that big a deal, and in fact, in niche situations is like kind of good. Which part of so chosen as soon they will chosen are probably the most have the strongest dichotomy between I'm not going to go into a spear wall if I see a path around, and I'm going to charge into a spear wall because there is combat happening. Like as soon as there is melee contact somewhere on the map, the chosen, that are nearby to that want to charge towards it to get to to join in there, and they'll charge right into the spears. So that's why I talked about leaving those like 1 or 2 hex channels or holes in the center between the spearmen, and that's why I ended up doing it. I don't always. Sometimes I'll let them charge around and just meet them on the edges. But yeah, that was mighty clean. And now I've got all these. Do all enemies act that way? They definitely act differently if there's melee contact. That's definitely a big part of the AI in all of them. I mean, I think the answer to that is kind of just yes. Yeah. I think the answer is yes. They do all basically act that way. Well, the nice thing about like a fight like this too is the heavy rusty axe is, as far as just regular weapons, I think it's probably just, at least generically, it's the best weapon in the game. It's yeah, I think it's just the best weapon in the game. As far as just like general armor against, or general damage against, most enemies. Like you could make a case for the two-handed flanged mace, and you can situationally make a case for like handgun and sword lance and spear and katal and whatever, but I'm not talking about, that kind of thing. But yeah, that was mighty smooth. That was uncharacteristically smooth. You can bet that I'm gonna clip this and, I don't know, share it somewhere. That's gonna happen. I can't help it. But the thing is like I would always talk about this stuff and then had no gameplay. No gameplay footage. So I would just post pictures as I was playing. But pictures, unless you see it in action and understand the context, they don't mean anything. I'm sad they didn't have any named items in that camp though. That's a shame. Yeah, a picture is not worth 1,000 words in this case. I agree. But a video is a lot better. Yeah, retinue right now is lookout, scout, and recruiter. I would like to have bounty hunter, and I like to have bounty hunter as my third, but I just didn't have any. I had 0 famed items when recruiting the third retinue. We're close to getting the fourth, and I think with that one I'm going to do the bounty hunter. Partially because champions are fun, and they're a great way of getting named gear. Because part of one of the things I want to seek to illustrate in this journey of, regardless of how long this will take me, of win streaking and recording every single origin taken Black Monolith in 150 days and having video footage of all of it, is to say that it is always possible, no matter how bad your run goes, to win the run. Like, anyway, so as a means to that end, picking up the bounty hunter so that I'm way over prepared for the Black Monolith is kind of part of it. Yeah, I don't mind Scavenger. I did actually take Scavenger last run because with Manhunters I was running a bunch of throwers, and so I was just like blowing through ammo super fast. I think I don't love Scavenger. I think I should say I'll probably not choose Scavenger in this run, but I think there's definitely a place for the Scavenger. It helps you, you know, maintain tools and ammo when venturing off, which is really nice. Already found it. It was over here, and killed it with Torsten here. And it was actually the reason that I put the bone armor plating on this decayed coat of scales. I was gonna save that attachment for something better, but and pretty much use him just like you see, but I brought a couple nets in. And the cleaver was garbage. I sold it. It rolled shield damage and -3 fatigue. I don't even think that's worth using. So it was, I'll use it if it rolls like damage or, you know, penetrating damage, but yeah, it is a shame. Especially because I really wanted to give it to, let's see, who is it that there's someone I've been putting off the decision of what to do with him. Oh yeah, this guy. This guy with Iron Lungs. And I took these 2 perks after. But I had just Colossus 9 lives, Pathfinder Student gifted at the time of Icy Cave. And I was thinking, if the cleaver is really good, this is a great candidate for it, because I really like not taking recover. I hate using recover. If at all possible. So, you know, Iron Lungs makes cleavers a lot more palatable for me. But it didn't happen. So, womp womp. Throwers are so good. Could have dagger stabbed after walking on your guy with the helmet. Which, did I have a dagger stab from quick hand somewhere? I wouldn't be, yeah. I don't remember exactly what you're talking about, but that, I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds like, yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot that guy was still there. Oops. Dang, I was hoping that would be... There we go. We'll let the drummer go. Let the musician live. He didn't do anything wrong. Oh wow. Huh. That camp full of chosen didn't have a named item. Now what is the other one called? We've got where is it? Glorious toad skin and monumental toad skin. It's almost the same item, which is very funny to me. Lots of toads here in the north. And hey, I mean, nimble body armors are like hard to find. And so I'm very, very happy. Is 175.8 perfect? I mean, it's gotta be pretty close. Let's see. Oh my god, it literally is. Yes, that is perfect. Incredible. That is a perfect studded mail armor. Cool. You love to see it. And our buddy Grib. Can't get the other one. If you'd like a bro... Oh no. Yeah. Yep. Streamer luck. You know, if either of you want a bro named after you, I do think that is fun. To, if you have a bro here that you'd like to claim, you don't have to. But if you do, be happy to name one after, Alright, yeah. Good night. And this guy... Take the Sword Lancer? Boom. Oh god. Much better. Don't want to be, don't want to misspell it. I'd be curious the story for the name sometime. But Bijante, if you want one, you just make the request. I offer no promises as to staying alive or just getting dismissed. I'm cutthroat. So Arnulf here is kind of a weird case where a shield is almost too heavy, like it puts too much fatigue on him. So even though I don't like doing it, I really don't, I might take Duelist. What else would I want to take? Fort Mind is fine. The road. All right, fair enough. He may eventually. He may eventually pick up Quick Hands. I mean, it's a good bro. Like, stat-wise, he will contribute well. He's just, you know, hasn't made a great showing. And Arnulf here, like I was saying, I don't want to do shield mastery because I don't want to give him a shield because it's like too heavy to make his amount of fatigue even usable. Because I like to have at least like more than 60, so they can hold out the spear for a little longer. And I never make, I don't know about never. Absent a named item, have I made a spear duelist to fulfill the role that I use them in? I don't know that I have. I could take taunt. There are situations where taunt is actually useful, and I don't think it's a total meme. Like, I think it can be used. My problem with taunt is I have some idea for how, like, the situations where it doesn't work, but not all of them. So I don't know, this could be a learning opportunity. The run's in a good spot. I could experiment with it and kind of figure out how I like to use it. How much does taunt cost, fatigue-wise? I don't even know. 15? It's kind of steep. Yeah, this bro's never going to be able to do that. Yeah, I think footwork is actually kind of interesting on this bro specifically, right? The one with a shield, well, I can just use knockback. The one without the shield, I do dislike footwork, but I don't hate footwork here. 20 fatigue, God. That just seems so steep. I wish it didn't cost 20 fatigue. That's an interesting suggestion. I kind of like it. But I think it's still just a little too steep of a fatigue cost. Interestingly enough, he's got good enough melee defense without the shield that, like, he's still really good defensively. Yeah, Fort Mind has good value. Some really really good fearsome procs from the unarmored enemies that charge into the spear wall. So it's kind of interesting, actually. I almost think that if the final 2 perks here were Fort Mind and Duelist, you can still get just enough damage to proc spear wall through like medium-ish armor, like 200-ish armor. Maybe not even. I'd have to. I did the math on it once. Maybe it was 100. It's not very much. For Duelist to get any damage with spear wall is really low. Low armor value. Yeah, when you want to hit with the bro. It won't do too much for spear wall, but there are plenty of situations where, you know, enemies have broken through the spear wall and I just need to stab them. I'll take Duelist. I think if I have a one-handed weapon without a shield, there's just no world where Duelist doesn't give them a ton of value. I think that's I'm convinced. Duelist is a good choice. Let's see, another barb camp there. I was gonna head back, but I can do a quick. These barb camps have been very, very kind. Boom. Duelist. I do appreciate when the team gets to the point where you can just straight up win the fight on the first round. It's kind of fun when you progress to that point. And then a battle is nothing more than just a pile of treasure. Just a little treasure. Let's see. I had those Noxerer trophies from a while ago. I do think there's a number of fights where the dogs don't provide too much value, and the extra resolve is nice. Maybe especially on the backliners. I think that's probably most true for them, because they don't need the surround bonus stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna hang on to the throwing axes here. This guy's gonna end up being kind of a mule, holding items. And I wonder if it's possible to... Probably not. I was going to say, I wonder if it's possible to have such high fight density that you can make bros leave just because they're not participating in anything. So I mentioned, you know, I'm looking for a tank. I guess a lumberjack is not a terrible option, maybe. I can at least try... that's what I was going to say, is if I try out and they've got a defensive perk... I mean, I'd have rather had, you know, Paranoid or something that gives melee defense, but I'm gonna hire both, and we'll just take a look. Nope, this bro's not gonna make the cut. That is not the tank I want to take into the Monolith. He's not bad, but he's not worth training up. And same here, unfortunately. That was a waste of money. I should just, yeah, lumberjacks are a good choice. And it's not like those were terrible options. I'm just sort of honestly holding out for sort of a luxury, prestige sort of bro. I should just wait and get a ding-dang hedge knight. I don't need to go into the swamp to chase thralls. But I'll take the free ones that are on the road. I head back to that big town and oh! Alright, pulled in both camps. Or both, not camps, both groups. Kinda didn't realize that was gonna happen. I would, if he weren't so important to the squad, I'd dismiss him too. That was pretty shameful. That heavy rusty axe is such a stupidly good weapon. I don't feel like my melee defense is so high that they can't even hit with the spears, but they are a-missin'. Just a little pile of weapons. Okay, I'm gonna still make my way to Ivanstadt. Not gonna chase through all that crappy terrain. Alright. Sale prices here are still very good. So I think it's time for just a mass sell-off. And I don't think there's any need to hang on to these daggers. I don't think anyone wants them. Sometimes I hang on to the hide and boat armor because it looks cool. It's not a very good reason to hang on to something. But it does look very cool. Let's see, yeah, no need for any extra knives. I think I'll just sell them. Let's see, and let's see if there's any interesting hires here after a little time. Wow, that's expensive. Now he does come with the 300 durability body armor. It's unlikely that an Oath Taker is going to be a suitable tank because they just don't have the fatigue. Or like a forge tank anyway. But I'm still a little tempted. I suppose I need to make a decision on this guy. God, he's so good. With all these +3s here in melee defense, I think this is just a fatigue neutral with no mastery. I think that's the way to go with him. Feels like a little bit of a waste though, because the last perks on a fatigue neutral are like relatively low value. Like, don't get me wrong, like defensive perks multiply together very nicely, but they don't meaningfully change like the bro's function in any way. I'm gonna keep delaying this decision, but I'll grab. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to. I mean, that's the tough thing is like his melee defense makes it so like yes, I want to put him right up against the enemy, taking, you know, letting him get surrounded. Who cares? Whatever. But he also has incredibly good melee attack and Iron Lungs as traits. He'll probably just end up a fatigue neutral, and for basically just the reason you just said is his melee defense is too good for an offense bro. If he's a fatigue neutral, he can hold a spot, not die, and just slowly chonk away at the enemies with the big hits. That's probably what it'll be. So do I buy this guy just for his armor? That's tempting. Because it's a really good armor. Yeah, that is true. That's a decent helmet. It's a decent helmet. What is it? 100 durability for 5 fatigue, I think is what that one is. Something like that. Unfortunately, part of the price tag is this stupid sword that I'm not totally anti-greatsword. Like, I do think I will run a greatsword in certain bros and situations, but it's pretty narrow. Well, we didn't get a tank, But my god, what a beautiful creature. Holy melee attack. Holy macaroni. Okay. Nah, I'm not going to build a Catal at this stage of the run. The Catal is a good weapon. And for what it's worth, Oath Takers are like perfect because of the initiative and you can get them to combo well. But I don't, this team isn't like, they're not, it's not a combo squad. I don't have, you know, throwers with bags or too many maces on the field. I mean, I don't think Catal would be terrible. And I actually think this will probably be some form of duelist. So now I feel much better, actually, about making this guy fatigue neutral. And so then, you know, I can grab whatever else I want to grab there. And this guy can be some sort of damage build. He's incredibly good. And given he's going to be a damage build, no mast. I don't know, do I have room to type the word mastery? I do. Alright, I don't have to be lazy. No mast does sound strange. No mast sounds like he needs to take some special pills. He should see a doctor maybe. Yeah, this guy's good. Nah, I was kind of tempted to take the 4 fatigue just to... I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Definitely taking Colossus. I might try to baby him and not take 9 lives. If he's going to be a nimble damage dealer, 9 lives feels a lot lower value. So who's kind of the... Honestly, this whole squad is really good. I was really blessed with good bros this run. Like maybe this is kind of the weakest link. But like, I don't know. Yeah, the squad is really good bros. Just really good. I guess I don't even have to. We'll leave this. We'll keep this guy's armor on him. I will say the pristine, perfectly cared for, adorned heavy mail hauberk and like a stinky rotten headgear is kind of that's a vibe. Yeah, so this is 110 durability for 5. Okay. I really need to give this guy better armor. What am I doing? I actually can. In fact, why don't I do... Yeah, we'll do that and this, maybe. Give this guy's head a little more protection. kind of the cute thing too about a fatigue neutral with no mastery that you take quick hands on is I could actually even do this, and situationally, where an enemy's armor's been stripped, can use the greatsword instead of the heavy rusty axe. I guess. Or against beasts. Like, it's a loadout that normally doesn't make sense. Or if for whatever reason I've got a little spare fatigue and want to use one of the other attacks, like a split or swing. I don't even know their names. Alright, well, I'm going to take a peek at... Nope. No, I don't think there's anyone else I want to... I mean, the thing is, too, is I can always hire the cheap and dismiss just to refresh the pool. Like, I can hire... Wow, what a charming cripple. And next time I'm here, you know, those will be new spots to be filled up. And I guess it'll be harder for me to use... I'm going to keep one throwing spear. It's harder to use the throwing spear since I don't have bags on any of the throwers. Alright, well that actually might be a good place for me to call it for the evening. I am a little bit sleepy and I got a whole bunch of stuff I've got to do this weekend where I might sort of figure out tonight what I'm going to do tomorrow exactly. So I'm going to do, because I can do this now, I can raid someone. We'll raid our good buddy Slug Zoo. So anyway, to those that are still here, you have yourselves a lovely evening, and I'll talk to you later. Ta-ta.